Welcome to this video. I will show you how you can speed up provisioning and deployment as your Linux and Windows environment scales. As you work to simplify and efficiently handle the provisioning of a diverse Linux environment as well as in Windows, orcharhino, our partner solution, can help you first scale to provide faster deployment so your team can focus on more pending tasks. Second, provide stability and consistency across the IT infrastructure on-prem and in the cloud. And third, automate to prevent errors in deployment. Orcharhino is a complete host orchestration and management solution for the data center. With Orcharhino, you can provision, deploy, and configure hosts with just a few clicks. This is an overview of the environments that Orcharhino can manage. You can create hosts that run these operating systems, so Red Hat-based operating systems as well as Ubuntu and Debian. You can create virtual machines. Orcharhino supports different hypervisors, VMware, KVM, Overt, Reverse, Proxmox, as well as create cloud instances. Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform are also supported. And you can configure your host as well because Orcharhino acts as an abstraction layer. So you have the option of using different configuration tools of your choice. Plus, Ansible playbooks can be executed on Orcharhino so that you can execute application-centric deployments. You can create new machines with these options that I will mention. But in addition, Orcharhino offers techniques that allows you for an unattended installation. You can create bare metal or VM hosts via a network-based or boot disk-based. This is for Linux or Windows machines. Or you can clone a VM from a VM template. Or you can create hosts in the cloud by using the Cloud Engine's provisioning function to create hosts from an existing image. In the background, Orcharhino is communicating to the hypervisors via an API to set up the DHCP, network, configurations, in order to set up the process and be ready to start the automation piece through the Kickstart process. It provides the necessary configuration files such as Kickstart, Preseed, or AutoYAST, depending on the OS that allows for an unattended installation. Now I will show you how to create a new host. This is the Orcharhino main dashboard. As you can see, this is a diverse environment. There's different operating system levels running. I will go ahead and create a new host. So this is the main template for creating a host. There are several parameters here that are pre-filled and some that you need to enter. One of them is the host group. This is an important parameter here that allows for the initial steps of the automation process for creating a host. This will allow for the new hosts that are going to be created to be put in a category or group based on the operating system level that you determine. So if I were to select the host group, production, it then populates most of the parameters. As you can see, it populates the compute profile, for example, which is the type of compute resource that this new host will run on. A lifecycle environment, in this case production, based on the parameters of the host group. And these life cycles can be development, production, or testing. As you can see here that I have two sets of life cycle paths for development, production, and test. The content views are a way to freeze the package release versions and assign these to specific hosts that belong to a lifecycle path, development, test, or production, for example. So this is the area where you can create a new host group. I have several. I have one for each operating system level. And this Ubuntu 22 production is the one that I selected when I created a group, when I was creating a new host. So let's do create new host group. I'm going to select a lifecycle environment. So in this case, I'm going to select this host group to belong to production. The content view that I have available for Ubuntu is the 2204 content view that I already created. I will show you that in a second as well. This is where I select the virtualization option. The compute profile is medium. This has specific resources assigned on the number of CPUs in memory, for example. And again, I'm going to call this a production environment. Ansible roles, the operating system, x86 I'm going to select, and this is going to be Ubuntu 22. Another parameter that is very important for the creation of hosts is the activation keys. I'll describe that in a second, but first I want to show you what content views are so that you can understand how the different package versions are assigned to a new host or a group of hosts. Okay, let's go to content views. So content views are, like I said, frozen states of package versions that allows you to work with the lifecycle of your host. So I already created a content view called 2204, and that's the one that I assigned when I created the host group, therefore was assigned when I created a new host. When this is created, it allows me to add the repositories. Orcharhino makes repositories available through the Orcharhino server. So it connects to the upstream URLs for each operating system and allows to synchronize these. For Ubuntu then, there are these repositories: Ubuntu 2204 main, security, and updates that I will add to this content view. The other parameter is the activation key. And it makes available the repositories and products that the host is entitled to based on the subscription. And you can assign a lifecycle environment and a content view to the activation keys. The content views, repositories, and then the activation keys. I showed you that these are the preliminary steps when we created the host group. If we go back to our template for creating a new host, now I'm going to select Submit, and this will create a new host. The new server has now been created and also registered through Orcharhino as a managed server. As a managed server, now you can see the package versions that it has installed, as well as the vulnerabilities, bug fixes, and enhancements. Orcharhino works with the errata and makes these available for the Red Hat operating systems as well as the non-Red Hat operating systems such as Ubuntu and Debian. Immediately it shows that this server has 35 security advisories. And from here you can apply the patches to fix and close the gaps in the vulnerabilities. I showed you how easily you can create, provision, and deploy Windows and Linux servers. You can try Orcharhino in your environment. Orcharhino is a vendor-independent solution. It's stable and offers maintenance and support. Contact us at svasoftware.com/Orcharhino